All right, let's talk about one of the most common kitchen challenges, the pan-seared chicken breast. It seems simple, right? But getting it perfect, I mean truly juicy every single time, takes a little technique. Today, we're going to break down that technique so you can nail it from here on out.
We've all been there. You get this beautiful golden crust, you're excited to slice into it, and then disappointment. It's dry, it's chewy, and all that effort feels wasted. It's probably the #1 complaint about cooking chicken breast, but believe me, it is a completely solvable problem.
So that's our whole mission here, to give you a method that is so reliable, so foolproof, that you never have to guess again. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly what to do, and more importantly, why you're doing it to get that perfect chicken breast.
Okay, let's look at what you'll need. The ingredients are super simple. You probably have them already, but pay attention to the tools. A heavy skillet, like cast iron or stainless steel, is non-negotiable for holding steady heat. And that meat thermometer, that's not a suggestion. It is your single best tool for guaranteeing you don't overcook the chicken.
So let's get into Section 1, Essential Preparation. Honestly, the success of your chicken is pretty much decided before it ever even sees a hot pan. These first few steps are everything.
The very first thing you're going to do is flatten the chicken. Just place it between 2 pieces of parchment paper and gently pound the thicker end until the whole breast is an even thickness, somewhere around 2 to 2.5 centimeters.
So, why bother with this step? Well, think about the shape of a chicken breast. It's got that thick bulbous end and a thin tapered end. If you cook it like that, the thin part will be totally dry and overcooked by the time the thick part is safe to eat. Evening it out means everything cooks at the same rate. It's a game changer.
Okay, next step, and listen, you absolutely cannot skip this one. You have to pat the chicken completely totally dry. Use as many paper towels as it takes. You want zero moisture left on the surface.
And how do you know you've gotten it dry enough? Here's your cue. You're looking for a matte surface. It shouldn't be shiny at all. It should look dull and feel a little bit tacky when you touch it. Remember this, moisture is the enemy of a good sear. Water steams, oil sears. If the surface is wet, the chicken will just steam in the pan.
Now it's seasoning time. Go ahead and be generous with that salt and pepper on all sides. And this is a big but, you want to do this right before, seconds before it goes into the pan. The timing here is critical.
And here's exactly why that timing matters so much. Salt is a magnet for water. The second you put it on the chicken, it starts pulling moisture from inside the meat up to the surface. If you let it sit for even a few minutes, you'll see little beads of water forming, and you will have completely undone all that hard work of patting it dry.
Okay, our prep is perfect. The chicken is ready. Now for the fun part. Section 2, the art of the sear. This is where we build that incredible golden brown crust and all that amazing flavor. So, first, let's prep the pan. Get your heavy skillet on the stove over medium-high heat and let it get properly hot. This might take a few minutes, so don't rush it. Once it's good and hot, then you add your oil and give it a swirl to coat the bottom. So, how do you know the pan is actually ready? This is the key visual cue you need to look for. The oil will shimmer. The surface will look like it has little ripples moving across it. That is the perfect moment. If you see big puffs of smoke, it's too hot. Just pull the pan off the burner for a moment to let it cool down a bit.
Now, before that chicken even touches the pan, let's talk about the #1 mistake people make right here. They get nervous and they start poking at the chicken, trying to lift it up and check on it way too soon. If you do that, you'll just tear that delicate crust that's trying to form, and you'll get a spotty, weak sear.
Okay, pan is hot, oil is shimmering. Carefully lay the chicken breast in the pan away from you. You'll hear a nice, strong sizzle. And now, for the next 5 to 6 minutes, your only job is to leave it alone. Seriously, don't touch it. Let the pan do its thing. After those 5 or 6 minutes are up, how do you know for sure if it's ready to flip? Well, the good news is the chicken will tell you. Just slide a thin spatula underneath it. If that beautiful golden crust is formed, the chicken will release from the pan effortlessly. If it sticks at all, that's its way of saying, nope, not ready yet. Give it another 30 to 60 seconds. Look at that sear. Beautiful. All right, we're moving into our final section, finishing and resting. We've built the crust, now we have to make sure the inside is perfectly cooked and all those juices stay right where they belong.
So once you get that perfect release, go ahead and flip the chicken. Now, as soon as you flip it, immediately turn the heat down to medium. This is super important because it prevents that first side from burning while the second side catches up. Now just let it cook for another 4 to 6 minutes.
Now, if you really want to take this to the next level, here's a little pro move for you. During that last few minutes of cooking, toss a tablespoon of butter into the pan. As it melts and foams, just tilt the pan and use a spoon to baste that delicious, nutty butter all over the top of the chicken. It adds so much flavor.
But how do you know when it's really done, all the way through? This is where that meat thermometer becomes your absolute best friend. There's no guesswork. Just stick it into the thickest part of the chicken breast. The magic number you're looking for is 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius. Okay, the chicken's off the heat. It smells amazing. But hold on, we are not done yet. Let's talk about the final and maybe the most tragic mistake you can make, slicing into it right away. When meat is hot, the juices are all squeezed towards the center. If you cut it open now, all that flavor is just going to pour out onto your board. So what do? It's simple. You'll wait. Get that chicken onto a cutting board, leave it uncovered, and just let it rest for at least 5 minutes. 10 is even better. This gives the muscle fibers time to relax and reabsorb all those amazing juices, so every single bite is moist and flavorful.
And after all that, this is what you get. The result of just a little bit of technique and patience. A deep, golden brown crust that's packed with flavor, and when you slice into it, a perfectly tender and incredibly moist interior. This is the goal.
So here's your final check. After it's rested and you make that first slice, take a look at the juices that come out. They should run perfectly clear. If you see that, you know you've nailed it. You haven't just cooked dinner, you've mastered a technique. Enjoy it.